What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I have a pretty special unboxing and review video to do for you all. Now before we get into the video, I just want to thank you all for hitting the 2,000 subscriber mark. Now I never even thought I'd get to 2,000, but sure enough we hit it. And I never even thought we'd get to 1,000, but sure enough we hit it. And that's all thanks to you guys. I want to thank you for the support, and if you're new here, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new, and also check out some of my other videos. Also, make sure that you have your bell notification or post notifications on so that you can be notified for any new upcoming videos, because, well, due to this quarantine stuff and the whole coronavirus, whatever, I have a lot of time on my hands, so you're definitely going to be expect some awesome content coming your way. So, yeah, let's get into the video, and as I said, thank you for 2,000 guys. It really means a lot. And like I said, it really means a lot. All of your support really means a lot to me. Yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so as you may have known by the title, we will be unboxing the Henglong, which is a company that I really do like. They make awesome 1/16 scale tanks. And as you can see here, they make some awesome 1/30 scale or 1/30th scale RC tanks as well. Now, the reason why I decided to spend some money on the much smaller scale version is because, well, for instance here, the 1/16 scale versions by Henglong are pretty much, for me at least, shelf queens, and also, you know, I put a lot of work into them, a lot of effort, a lot of detailing, so when I do travel with them, you know, they're kind of bigger and take up some space, and they also... well, I have a fear of getting them damaged in the travel process, so I just decided if I go to vacation or something like that, to get me a cheaper and pretty cool little and smaller scale version RC tank on the go whenever I travel. So yeah. So as you can see here, it is 14 plus, or 14, the age limit is, or not age limit, the age recommendation is 14 plus, and it's RTR 2.4 gigahertz. And yeah, so it's modeled after the M4A3 Sherman, as you can see here, but this one is the Firefly version. It has the longer barrel and more powerful gun that can possibly take on Tigers, I believe so. Yeah, so it doesn't have the 75mm like the shorter barrel, but as I said, longer. So yeah, let's go ahead and look around at the box. Let me move the camera up here a little bit. So that's detailing on the box. There's the side. And here on the back it shows all the functions. So it has, now this version is actually an infrared battle tank. So it has, as you can see here, a HP indicator, and it has an infrared ray emitter and an infrared ray receiver. So you can actually, they also sell the M26 Pershing tank version. So same scale as this, so you can kind of buy both of them and have some fun battle between your friends and stuff like that. Now I decided not to buy the pair because, well, I just needed one, and I probably will buy the M26 later on just to play around with like friends or something. But for now I decided to get the one Sherman tank and just kind of test and see its capabilities. So yeah. And this one, I believe, does not have independent suspension, which is kind of sad, but for 40 bucks, which is how much I spent on this thing, it isn't bad. So I think it's time. Oh, there's the bottom. But I think it's time to get into unboxing this thing. All right, so I'm going to cut the slip here. It should open just like that. And this should slide out. Yep. Nothing else in this box, so we're gonna put that aside. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we get here. Looks like we have a little machine gun right there. We have the operator's or driver's manual, as you can see here. We got the battery, which is pretty cool. It's a rechargeable battery, so that's pretty neat. You don't gotta have to insert AA batteries, which is pretty cool. There are the little joysticks for the remotes right there, the charger, and it comes with a little screwdriver, so that's pretty cool. If you don't have one at home, then they kind of supply you with one, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, and then, okay, so the remote is right there. We'll get that out in a second. And there's the tank. This is a pretty neat diorama piece here that I might actually keep just for this tank. So, yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. Man, this thing is so cute. It's so small. But yeah, as I said, doesn't look like it has any suspension. But in a second, I'll show you how you can fix that issue with it having no suspension. So we'll get into that in a second. Alrighty, so here is the tank. Now there is quite a bit of detail on this little thing. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give you a little spin on how this tank looks. So as you can see, it's a special type 380 38411, which I don't believe that's exactly historically correct. I don't think they would write that, but hey, it's technically a kid's toy and or a collector's piece. So I guess it's not really meant to be detailed at 40 bucks. That detailed at least. So as you can see here, there's the back tray. They decided not to place the 50 caliber or 30 caliber ammo boxes in the back, which is okay, you know. Pretty cool all the way around. So talking about the, and then there's the view of the front. Got a spare track piece for extra protection. Pretty neat. And it also has working headlights, which I'll show you in a second. But talking about the suspension now, as you can see here, when you press on it, it does move, as you can see here, kind of just a little bit. But it has to move, like, in order for it to move, you have to kind of push it forcefully. But that's not really how suspension kind of works. You're not supposed to push it forcefully and then it starts, working. But as you can see here, there is no spring. It's just a plastic peg piece that goes in there and kind of keeps it all together. But one I guess you could say, one thing that you could do is find a metal spring, if you have any laying around your house, and find 6 of them that are around the same size. If not, you can go ahead and go buy some at the store. But they're not that expensive, so that's good for a pack of quite a bit. And, what I noticed is what you could do is when you take the track piece off, of course, all you have to do is unscrew this metal, or this screw here, and this whole suspension with the bogey pops out, and then you just insert the spring into that peg, and then you put it back in and screw it tightly, or not too tight, but just a little bit loosely, and then it works as suspension, which is pretty cool. I saw that in some another unboxing and review video that I watched from somebody else, and I thought that was pretty neat, and I definitely recommend doing that if you have springs laying around the house, because it definitely adds to the realistic look and feature of this tank. And yeah, also I do recommend, if you do want to kind of paint this thing and give it some rust look, or just kind of give it some more detail by adding some paint used by like Tamiya or whatever, any sort of modeler's paint, just like add some rust or dirt or whatever you want on it, I think it would make it look even more detailed. And then even adding some kind of metallic or a little bit of a black around the seams here on top is what I'm talking about, just to make it stand out a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty cool looking tank. Also, one thing underneath here, you just have to, I don't have the screw in here now, actually, sorry. You just pull this back, it pops out, and that's where your battery goes. Now, the battery is charging right now, so I didn't put it in, but I will show you how it works when I turn it on in a second. And then that pops back into place. You don't necessarily have to put a screw in there back in, because it did come with one. You don't necessarily have to put one, but I guess if you're going off-road or something, and it's mostly meant to be like an indoor toy, so I don't recommend really driving this thing outside, but I guess you could. You're just gonna get a lot of things stuck and jammed in this little small, tiny sprocket wheel. So, yeah, there's on and off and Henglong logo. So, pretty cool tank. Now, this is how it works with the infrared system. As you can see, you have 4 lives as it's displayed here with these red lights here, and then this is the infrared sensor thing. And what I believe what happens is, if you shoot the tank all the way to the 4th one, it just shuts down and you have to restart it to go ahead and play again. And when you shoot it, it kind of turns like this, I believe, and it makes some destroyed sounds or whatever, and it stops working once you hit all 4 this tank 4 times. So pretty cool system, and yeah. So I think that's enough with the tank. Now let's go ahead, and also the hatches do not open on here, but that's acceptable, I guess, with the $40 tank. One thing that I found was really disappointing was get this, the main gun does not, yeah, there's no electric elevation on this thing. You have to manually move it with your fingers wherever you want it to be, and that's where you have to try and get the other tank. As you can see probably from the reflection of my light over here, there's the little plastic lead, or not, I believe that's a lead infrared gun right there that shoots the other tank. But yeah, that's the thing that's kind of sad about this, is that you have to move it to get it where you want. But as I said, 40 bucks, not too much room to add another elevation system. So yeah, in order to make some profit. But yeah, let's go ahead and see. Oh, before I do that, that's where the machine gun is, of course. And this thing, when you press the remote, it's supposed to blink a flashing red light. So to add to the effect, and I believe this does have a engine sound effect. So we'll get to that in a second. Let's move on to the remote. Alright, so here is the remote. As you can see here, this is the on and off or startup button that you press. This is the power button that you press, that when you press it and hold it down, it has a little sound there, and it starts up and you're ready to go. And then to turn it off, you just hold it for a few seconds. Yep. And then right here you have, I believe, this is the sound volume system. When you press this, this is, I believe one of them is the fire system. I'm not going to read you the whole manual because most of it is in Chinese or Japanese, but as it shows here, it says the power indicator light is right there in the middle. IR, MG key, turret left turn, turret right turn, volume key as I showed you there. IR shell key, switch key, start firing off. Let's see here, shell sound function, so that's pretty neat. You can press this button and it makes, when you fire it, it kind of gives that shell, like the shell dropped on the floor or something. Sound effects, turn left, forward, turn right, backward, fine adjustment of forward, left, and right. Fine adjustment of back and left. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. That's pretty much about it with the remote. As you can see, I've added the little joystick pieces that easily come off, as you see there. And then it also, you must put 3 AA batteries that are not included. You have to provide, you have to have those with you, so or go buy some. So yeah, pretty cool remote. Not too cheap. It feels pretty durable. So that's one thing that I like about Henglong. They make quality stuff. So now, before we do get into starting up the tank and testing it on the indoor RC tank track, I did want to make a size comparison. So here's the tank next to the Henglong, or the same company, 1/16 scale Sherman. So there's 1/30th versus 1/16. Pretty big difference, as you can see there. And then there's the size comparison between the Henglong 1/30th scale Sherman with the 21st Century Toys 1/6 scale M5 Stuart tanks. So yeah, pretty much bigger difference. Yeah, that's pretty cool. My goodness, this thing is so cute compared to the Stuart. One other thing is that this thing did come with a little mini machine gun, so it should pop in place right here. Oh. Should. Yeah, just like that. So, pretty cool little mini detail right there. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get to starting this thing up and seeing its functions, which I believe you guys have been waiting for for quite a little while. Sorry for making this video pretty long. It is the 2,000 subscriber special, so... Alright, so the battery is fully charged. Let's go ahead and turn on the remote. And I think it's time to start this thing up. So let me move the camera back a little bit. Alright, so now you have a better review of the remote. So let's go ahead and start it up. Ooh, pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn the turret by pressing this. Huh. Okay, let's test out the sound effects here. Ooh, okay, so that both of these down presses the makes it fire. Interesting. Okay. All right. And this is the volume control button, as you can see here. Cool. Ooh, and then there's the machine gun. Alright, now let's go ahead and put it on the ground and see how it drives. Ooh, okay. So that sounded like something got hit. Let's go ahead and see. Alright, let's, oh. Put that back in here. Oh. There we go. Pretty cool. Let's see how it works over my hand. Okay, what about this? Wait. Oh! Easy. Look at that. Okay, let's shut it down. Pretty cool, guys. I must say, pretty impressive with this for the money. 40 bucks. It comes with all those sound effects. Unfortunately, it does not have a smoke system, but I think the sound effects are good enough. So yeah, let's go ahead and take this thing out on the test track and see how well it does off-road. Now, do keep in mind that this test track is actually built for my 1/16 scale RC tank. So let's see if a 1/30th scale RC tank can go through this track without an issue. And because it has rubber tracks, it has more grip on the wood, which is pretty cool. Okay, let me get a close-up shot here. So far, so good. We're coming up towards the airsoft targets. Now, unfortunately, this gun does not have the airsoft feature, but we're just gonna manually lift the gun and I guess you could say pretend fire. Moving on to the next obstacle. Now let's see how well it does over this obstacle, which is a pretty challenging obstacle, I guess you could say, for this tank. But let's see. Oh. Ooh. Now this is the tricky part right here. Ooh, now it's kind of stuck because it's smaller. Oh, look at that. Alright, so in the end, I definitely recommend this tank if you're looking to spend not too much money, because the 1/16 scale versions are $100 and up. So if you're looking to spend a little bit less money, then I definitely recommend going for the $40 Henglong RC tank. It has its ups and downs. 40 bucks, you know, as a collector, it's okay. I probably won't buy a lot of these, but I probably will start focusing more on the 1/16 scale RC tanks. But I technically just bought this just for travel, and you know, it's if something breaks on here, it's not as big of a loss. It's 40 bucks. Yeah, it's a lot, but you know, that's just the risk that I'm taking when I travel. And I want to have something to you know, play around with whenever I'm on vacation or something like that. And you know, this is just one of those perfect tanks that's you know, built for kids, built for whoever just wants to have a little fun with with a little RC tank in the living room or whatever. But I basically just bought it for travel, and I bought it if I'm not traveling, just for some indoor fun play. So yeah. Now, out of a 10, I definitely have to rate this thing a 6 or 7. It's up there. It's pretty good. As I said, for the price, it ain't bad. And, you know, if you're looking not to spend too much money, definitely recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And as I said before, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Alexander's Ragtime Band.